United States of America. You have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. President. Today we gather again as a council, exactly 6 months after the start of the conflict in Sudan. During those 6 months, the situation has turned from grave to catastrophic, necessitating not just a stronger response, but also a mechanism that can discern and document the truth. The United States is part of the core group for the resolution being discussed today because we firmly believe it is the role and the responsibility of this Council to address serious human rights situations whenever and wherever they occur. This resolution is a call to action for what we all agree are the pressing priorities: for the warring parties to cease their atrocities and other abuses, to lay down their weapons, and to allow safe, rapid, and unhindered humanitarian access that is so desperately needed. Our core group consulted widely and deliberately with representatives of all regions on appropriate next steps for the Council. The result is the resolution before us, which is the right approach at the right time for this catastrophic situation. I want to reiterate our continued support for the Sudanese people who so desperately need assistance. In fiscal year 2023, the United States has contributed $840 million to the Sudanese people and countries supporting Sudanese refugees. And U.S. contributions comprise more than 50% of all humanitarian contributions in Sudan. Our partners in the core group have been similarly committed to supporting the Sudanese people. We call on other donors to significantly increase their contributions to meet severe funding shortfalls and urgently respond to the dire situation in Sudan. The United States is also directly involved in seeking a peaceful resolution to this conflict. It is our view that the Human Rights Council plays an indispensable complementary role in advancing justice and accountability as part of these peace efforts. As the High Commissioner said, we must break the cycle of impunity from which the people of Sudan have suffered for decades. The atrocities happening in Darfur echo the darkest days of Sudan's history, days for which there has still been no accountability. The international community cannot place blind trust in the goodwill of generals who have shown utter disregard for the lives of civilians and their obligation to protect them. We must demand that they fully respect international human rights law and international humanitarian law, take meaningful steps toward peace, and allow dire humanitarian needs to be met. Mr. President, we cannot sit and wait for this tragedy to go away. We have a responsibility as the Human Rights Council to meet this crisis where it is, not where we wish that it would be. As the people of Sudan suffer through this 6th month of brutal conflict, we are reminded that decades of impunity have led us to where we are. In this regard, we find it unsatisfactory that Sudan has announced that any domestic investigations will be focused only on abuses by the Rapid Support Forces. We must take steps now to ensure transitional justice and accountability in the future. The world is watching, as it was 20 years ago, and we cannot look away. I thank you.